Hello, I'm Patrick, I'm a sculptor. I make fan art and original characters live on the internet, and I have a confession to make. I am always fighting the monsters of creativity. You may know them. They are complex and many, and today I want to talk about one of these monsters and how you can start to fight it. While I do that, I've got some footage of me creating a monster from Dungeons & Dragons, the Ankheg. I think I'm saying that right. I hope you enjoy the footage, learn something from the process of watching it, and find some encouragement today as we talk about fighting self-doubt. The Ankheg in classic D&D literature had a fairly simple role. They often troubled farmers by burrowing into their fields and destroying their crops. They were destructive and dangerous and could easily topple the life of a lowly farmer, or, at the very least, gnaw at the foundations of her field until it collapsed. There's something to be said about the monsters that burrow deep and undercut the good fruits on the surface. Self-doubt is one such monster. It's that sense in which I feel I'm not good enough, or maybe I never will be. It often arrives in the midst of a perfectly normal day. For me, nothing really needs to happen. I'm just working, or playing a video game, or talking with a friend, and suddenly, from deep within, I'm struck by a passing thought. What if? What if I'm not really good enough to succeed as an artist? What if everyone is really just being nice to me? What if I'm making a mistake? What if my sense of me is wrong? And from deep within, it undermines my confidence and leaves me feeling weak, a bit ready to collapse. The gnawing can be the hardest part, because I find I can win the battle sometimes. I can push back the beasts of my own self-doubt and deny its existence in my own life. I can return to the depths and try to forget about it, but the gnawing continues. It's only a matter of time till my own self-doubt either breaks through the surface once more, looking to destroy me, or till the quiet gnawing collapses the foundation on which my self-worth is built. How do we fight such foes? How do we stand up against the monsters of our own doubt? Well, here are 3 ways I fight my own self-doubt. First, I remember that my thoughts are not the same as my truth. Our big old brains are capable of many wonderful things. The very creativity that drives you towards creating cool art, capturing awesome photos, or writing cool stories is proof of the amazing things that brains can do. And creativity really is just this magical force within us that can make something out of nothing. It's beautiful in its raw potential, but that power swings both ways. And here's the thing. Your brain that creates fantasy creatures like Ankhegs can also create ideas about you. Ideas that are just as ridiculous as giant bug monsters with killer claws. And just like the Ankheg, you don't have to believe everything your brain thinks. You are more than you think. Your thoughts are powerful, informative, and influential, but only in the ways you let them be. So here's the truth. You have the means of telling your own story, of creatively seeing yourself in the best possible light. And I don't mean ignoring your flaws or becoming an arrogant jerk. I mean simply this. You can reject the self-reflection that destroys you and replace it with encouragement that builds you up. Let me encourage you to take hold of your creative spirit and to use it to tell yourself the story of you that you want to tell. Write mantras, find encouraging quotes, draw pictures of yourself succeeding, and do whatever you can to flood your brain with the truth that you want to believe about yourself and push back the monster of self-doubt. The second thing I do is I acknowledge that I'm not a prophet, and doubt is not a fortune told. One of the most difficult things about self-doubt is that it's often tied to a future fear that doubt is going to come true, it's going to come to fruition. That you wake up one day exposed in the flaws of your own creation. But I have good news for you. Self-doubt is not a prophecy. No spiritualist woke up one day, looked at their tea leaves, and whispered your self-doubt into the world. There's no grand prediction over your life, and even if there was, it doesn't live in your brain. As wonderful as you are, and please, if you get nothing else today, know I think you're wonderful. But as wonderful as you are not a prophet, and you cannot predict the future. And I think this is actually the best news possible. Self-doubt is not the same thing as fortune-telling. So when self-doubt creeps into your mind and you begin to wrestle with it as you think about what may eventually happen to you, you have a choice. Do you let one possibility rule your day, control your attitudes, and take over your life? Or do you acknowledge that the outcome is not yet realized and that you can, through sheer force of your own strength and ability, push on past the doubts into somewhere else? Let the doubts be one of the multiversal millions of potential outcomes. Acknowledge it and move on to other far more enjoyable possibilities. Because what if my doubts come true is a way worse idea than what if my dreams come true? What if I'm discovered to be exactly who I wished I was? What if luck was on my side today? These are much, much better outcomes. We should give just as much stock, if not incredibly more, to them. The last thing I do is I seek out support from beyond myself. All these things said, I have to confess, even though I believe my brain is strong enough to rewrite my own story, I sometimes don't have the strength to do it. And just because I know my doubt isn't a prediction of my future, it can be a strong and worrisome portent. And yes, I don't always have the means to fight myself. If the battle with self-doubt is entirely fought within, it can sometimes collapse in on you. It doesn't always happen this way, but I know that life is hard and often cruel, and in that sort of world, you may be fighting too hard and too often to hold your head above the water. So in these moments, let me encourage you to look beyond yourself. Find positive people who will remind you of the story you're telling about yourself. The kind of people who know you and look at you and see you for the good you bring into this world. They can lift you up. They can join the battle against your own self-doubt. They can be a powerful force that can sway the tides of your fight. So seek out these sorts of people today. Find a Discord, a YouTube community, a Twitter feed, or even just people in the real world, and start being each other's backup against the monstrous force of self-doubt. Going beyond that, if you ever get an encouraging comment or a nice note, get told a compliment, write it down. Collect these words of power like spells in a wizard's spellbook so that when you need to, you can recite them and summon the magic of their encouragement. Hoard this power for yourself and draw on it as often as you need. And I know it's very likely that at some point someone will see this video and say to themselves, but I don't have these sorts of people, and I don't really have a collection of these kind of good words. And the doubts are already here. They're breaking down the door. And to that, let me contribute these words to all of you. You are enough. Yeah, I don't know you, but that doesn't really matter right now. I know you are enough because I've seen it in people. That you are, no matter your successes or failures, a person worthy of love and respect and good things. You have the potential to do great things. Today may be a hard day, and it may be difficult to see exactly who you are, but don't lose heart. The doubts may be strong, but they are not true. The worries may be real, but they're not predictions of the future. It may be a hard fight, but you are not alone. Hold these words close. Doesn't matter if you agree or believe me, hear them as truth. Let them help fight the doubts. Because in the end, you are more than your doubts let you believe. So friends, take on the battle. Stand up. Remember, your thoughts are not the same as your truth. Acknowledge that you are not a prophet and doubt is not a fortune told. And seek out support from beyond yourself. Because you're great. Hey, let's check out the final reveal in this sculpt, and I'll be back to wrap things up. Hey friends, I hope you found the encouragement today helpful. It doesn't matter if you're a creative person or not, doubts are a fierce force. Don't let them win. If you have any suggestions or tools you use to fight self-doubt, I'd love to hear them, because frankly, I face it all the time. If you're looking for a supportive, kind, and encouraging group of people on the internet, I'd welcome you to pop into my Twitch stream where I make these projects and where a group of like-minded people hang out and try to make the internet a better, more encouraging place. I also have a Discord where we share art and speak positively to each other. Links below. Also, if you like the style of thinking through ideas and encouragement over top of a project, let me know what you think. What do you think about the style? How can I improve? Either way, I had fun putting this together and sharing some of my thoughts about the monster that is self-doubt. If you like it, hit subscribe and the like button. And until next time, keep being awesome.